Welcome and welcome back, everybody. Tia here, and as you can tell, this is a little bit different of a style of video. So there is an event happening at our local game store this weekend, which I am very excited for, and I thought it would be fun and exciting to share that with you. So our local game store in Downers Grove called Fair Game is hosting their annual garage sale. And if you haven't heard me talk about this before, essentially they have people bring in games from the community. You get 80% in-store credit for whatever you sell, 10% goes to the store, and this year they're donating 10% to getting games in schools, which fantastic. I'm all for it. So it's for a good cause, and it just helps get that circulation of games moving. It gets games into people's hands for a great price, helps you go through and cull and clean off your shelves that might get for games that are a little dusty. And usually this event happens over the summer, but this year there were some delays due to COVID. And so I'm very, very excited. Duke and I are both going to be selling games. And in fact, we had not only met at this store, but specifically this event many years ago. So it's like a really exciting time of year and a big event that I'm looking forward to. And as you can see, I mean, I sold some games, but I also got like a new little baby shelf here. So obviously we've got some holes on the shelf that need to be filled now. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what's there. They should be posting a spreadsheet hopefully beforehand. Because of COVID, they are limiting the number of people inside the store at a time to 20 minutes, which usually there are about 1,000 or more games, so it's a lot to look through. But last year, due to that, and this year, they said they'll be posting a spreadsheet. So at some point, probably tonight or whenever it gets posted, Duke and I are going to be writing down a list of games that we hope to purchase and about how much we're looking to spend on them in preparation. So really exciting time. I guess I will see you in the morning. Do you know what day it is? It's Christmas! Just kidding, but it might be. We'll see how it goes once we get there. The plan is, again, to get there as early as possible. If we're not first in line, might as well be last. So hopefully we'll be able to find our picks that we settled on last night, and we'll see you there. Final preparation step, say goodbye to the bunnies. Goodbye, bunnies. Please stop chewing holes in your fence. Look at this primo parking spot. First ones. Duke, tell the people, what games are you most looking forward to finding at the garage sale with our budget of $10,000? Just kidding.
Hoping to find a cheap copy of Obsession, hoping to find a copy of In the Year of the Dragon, and probably Maracaibo as well.
Yes, and I think I'm looking for Maskmen, but only if it's cheap. I want to get all those Oink games. And someone recommended recently to us to try out Cantaloupe Book 1. So weirdly, that showed up last minute on the list. So we'll be looking for that. And I'm really excited, fingers crossed, to hopefully find a copy of Whirling Witchcraft. Looks really cool. Big spook season is upon us, so thematically appropriate. You know, the art, Weberson Santiago, can't go wrong there. And a bunch of other little things that I probably don't need, but I really want. So I guess now we just play the waiting game, and once we get in there, it's going to be pretty crazy, so we won't be filming any of the vlog in there, but we'll see you guys afterwards for the big reveal. I asked Duke if he had a pen, and this is what I got. Are you kidding me? What is this? This poor thing. You've had a rough life. Alright, so that was quite a whirlwind. They only let 20 people in the store at a time, and we only had our 20 minutes, which, to be fair, it felt like a lot longer than I thought it would, so that was kind of good. But it also gave me time to pick up some games that I wasn't entirely sure about, but the good news is we did get pretty much everything on our list, and we'll go over that when we get back to the house. And we're back. So we're at the house. I think we both got a majority of the games that we really wanted, so we're just gonna kind of go through them and share them with you guys. Do you want to start, Duke?
Yeah.
Should we go like small to big?
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right.
Small card game. It was called Potato Man.
Yeah. One of y'all, our lovely subscribers, suggested that we check this one out. As you can tell, it's got the beautiful, Sachsenspielen art, just like Bonanza. But we heard it's a great game, so thanks for recommending this one. We're really looking forward to playing it. Another small game, one that I actually used to own, but I was a big fan of the gameplay, but not as much of the art. And Duke, close your ears. I mean, he already knows. We always have to tell each other if we buy a gift that's a board game, because the chance that the other person might buy it, very high. But Fairy Tale, which is like one of the OG drafting games, it's very similar to Sushi Go in terms of the gameplay, but not necessarily the aesthetic. It's just a really solid little one. The art is a little bit, anime, which again isn't my personal taste, but Duke is a fan. He's a little bit of a connoisseur, so I figured this would be a nice one. And for $5, like, how can you go wrong? So that's one of the small ones I picked up.
Yeah, another small one was kind of similar to Splendor, and it kind of had a small box, and people were really liking it. And that is, I don't know how, Encore, I think is how you would pronounce it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so super excited to give this one a try. Really easy, and I like small games because we don't have a lot of room.
Right.
Kind of filling up, so smaller games with big value is really awesome for us.
Yeah, and the Egyptian theme with like Splendor mechanics sounds pretty cool. Another small box game I got is Schoten, which I've heard really good things about this. Again, $5, how can you go wrong? And this is kind of, in a similar line as two-player games like Lost Cities and things like that, which y'all know we love hats. So this is another one that I figured at some point, if I found for cheap, I would try out. I have more small games, I think, than Duke does.
Yeah, my games are going to get kind of progressively larger.
Let's see. Another $5 one I got, which I was really interested, very seasonal, Gloomy Graves. So this is just like a little card tiling one. I really love the art and the aesthetic. I just think it's phenomenal. So yeah, anything like Halloween or spooky themed, and again, $5. How can you go wrong? So I was really glad to see this one. This is one that I saw at the shop, like when we were just regular shopping, and was really intrigued. I'm like, oh, maybe I should pick it up, just a little something, but I figured I'd wait for a cheap copy, and here it is.
Next up was a little bit bigger game. I have kind of the sister game of it, and that is Tournament at Avalon. I like the kind of trick taking, and you have to have the card, otherwise everyone else kind of takes damage from it. And I like the Camelot feel to
Plus,
it.
it's played once like new, as you can see. So yeah, it's nice to have both too in the collections.
Yeah.
The OG is a little bit of a classic. The next one up I got is an Emperor S4 game, which I'm a huge fan. Which, shout out, I know a lot of you have been asking about the where to get Hanamakoji. The Kickstarter is dropping in like, I think 5 days or something, so very excited for that. If you're also an Emperor S4 fan, I suggest you check out the Kickstarter. It's got like extras and what have you, but you're not here for that. Walking in Burano. This is one that the art and everything the theme wasn't as appealing to me as some of the more like Asian flavored Eastern games. This one, obviously, Burano and the canals and what have you. And the art wasn't. It's very well done art, but it's not necessarily really appealing to my aesthetic. But I figured if I ever found a cheap copy, I've heard it plays pretty well solo, so I'm excited to check this one out again. Garage sales is the best place to be like, oh, it's a game I'm not sure. I kind of want to try it. Cheap copy. Let's go.
And I think that's kind of it for my small games.
Yeah, I guess I have a couple more I can talk about. Yeah. So Duke already owns this one, but Food Trick Champion with all the Kickstarter goodies. I own a similar game called Motenai, which has multi-use cards that I think is a little brain burnier to get your head wrapped around. But this one, again, $10. Like, it's a pretty solid little one to have, and if we realize we don't need 2 copies, this this is a great game for anyone, for a friend to own. If someone ever like drops in, like, oh, we have an extra copy, got you. And then my next game is a little bit bigger, at least the box size, and it's quite heavy, which I was not expecting. This is one I hadn't heard of, but they had posted it on the list. It was $5, and it's 18 Lilliput. So it is a tile card laying game, route building-ish game. I don't know much else about it, but it looked intriguing, and it was on that like $5 to $9 list. Had pretty good ratings. I mean, this box, you can't tell just watching, but it's like pretty hefty. So I'm excited to dive into this one, even though it's not my usual aesthetic or like, you know, train route building games. Not really my thing, but it looks very puzzly. So excited to give that one a try.
Yeah, the next one was always kind of a joke, kind of rhymey, oh, that's kind of funny game. And then it has like hidden movement, which I really like, and a couple others, and that is Nuns on the Run. We've seen this at other places at half-price books sometimes, and always like, oh, should I get it? It kind of looks interesting because I really like the... Oh, I'm going to forget the name now. Oh, I'm so... But yeah, I like the kind of hidden movement, kind of like the Whitechapel, where one person is Jack the Ripper and everyone's just trying to figure out where he went or how he moved. I like that style of game. I think it's really neat. So, gave this one a go.
And my next one, I'm not sure about. I saw a lot of people posting it. I'm not entirely sure if it was just a lot of review copies were sent out, so there was a lot of press when it came out, because since then I haven't heard much about it, but I am a big fan of abstract games and of tiles and stacking and vertical, so Gringo for $12. I mean, at the very least, it seems like a good value for the price if I need to resell it down the line or end up, you know, passing it on. It's not a huge monetary investment. But again, this is just like an abstract little tile one. Some people really like it. Some people said they like it better than Azul or similar games. So if it's even, you know, partially as good as Azul is and I can play it solo, then we'll keep it. But if not, we'll see.
Yeah, and the last one that I kind of was on the smaller side price-wise, it's kind of hard to find an actual copy of it. That was Cacao. I know the expansions are everywhere. So,
yeah, but not the base game.
Yeah, I like the tile laying and then trying to collect resources for it. I thought it's a simple, lighter game. Give it a try. Price range, I wasn't too like worried about it either.
Yeah, and usually you can find the expansions for pretty cheap, so if you like it, get the whole family. The next one, again, is not for me. It's for someone else. And it was funny because there were two copies of this at the garage sale, and basically the way that they alphabetized it this year, which was really nice. Usually everything's just everywhere, but it's whatever people put on the sticker. So the next one I got is for Duke, and it's Marvel Villainous, and I don't know if you guys can see the barcode there, but beautiful $9 copy. Pretty much brand new so far as we can tell from the outside of the box, so very excited for that. But the other copy was $30 or $35. I'm like, really? Oh, I don't know. So I first picked up that one. I went to the M shelf right away to look for this in like one of Duke's later games. And I was like, ooh, I thought it was $5 to $9. I don't really want to pay $30 for it. We'll just wait on that gift later. But then when I was looking by the V games, I'm like, wait, there it is. It's $9. Let's go. So yeah, this one might be pretty interesting. I don't know. I'm a really big fan of the little figurines.
Yeah,
so
the little plastic figurines they have.
This looks hella cool. So I might be tempted to play this one. And we played just regular Disney Villainous.
And yeah, it's one of those where the theme can get people who don't play games into games, and it's very simple and straightforward to teach.
And you're a big Disney fan.
Yeah, I do like Disney stuff. So
I'm not the biggest Disney fan, but I do really like the whole kind of dark aesthetic that they brought to it. And the backs of the cards, they're not quite Art Deco. They're like really they're kind of like Art Deco mixed with a lot of like filigree. Like the gold etching on the backs of the cards. Honestly, my favorite part of the game is the backs of all the cards. I just think they're so cool. So yeah, this Duke doesn't know. Don't tell Duke, but this is going to be a present for him at some point.
Now getting into the kind of chunkier games. This one is an older edition, but it's from Pandasaurus, and I thought just kind of the brass-esque aesthetic and Tammany Hall. kind of a Euroring, and I'm like, oh, it's a good price. Like, I have it. I like give it a whirl. If worse comes to worse, I can definitely sell it and like get part of what I put into it back down the road. So wanted to give it a try.
Yeah, and my next one is kind of in a similar vein. I was like really hesitant, and as soon as we got in the car, I was like, oh, probably shouldn't have bought that one. But this was the most expensive game I bought. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think of it that way. But it's $29. I know it's like a real wallet sink. But it's Peter Sylvester's Polynesia. We like some of his other games. The cover is really gorgeous. The game itself doesn't look quite as nice, though the meeples seem really cool. I like the kind of not just primary color meeples. The theme seems kind of interesting. Route building, when I looked into it briefly last night, I mean, I was so tired, but it kind of gave me Yamatai vibes, which we enjoy Yamatai, or I do a lot. But yeah, I probably was a little bit more persuaded than I needed to be by the cover of the box. But, you know, if I lose some value on this game, it's not like I didn't get stupid great value on everything else. So with the 20 minutes, I was like, I didn't pick it up initially. That's what I was saying in the car on the way back. It was like, I didn't have it initially, and then we had like a couple more go-throughs, and I was like, oh, Polynesia, I should look at it. And then it was $29. I'm like, oh, it's not too bad. And then they were like, oh, it's time to go. Like, funnel you out the back into the alleyway so you can pay. They have like everybody come in one way and leave the other way. And so by that time it was already in my bag. I'm like, oh, I'll just take it and we'll find out.
It's really hard with, even though 20 minutes we had enough time, we're also competing with 20 other people who was in there like pulling a lot of games. Like the people ahead of us who were checking out had huge stacks of games and like bags of games.
Yeah, people brought huge IKEA bags and stuff, so it was like literally you had to prioritize before we went in. We were like, what's the game plan? Okay, you're gonna stay up here and grab these games that we can see. I'm gonna go straight for like O, M, and then W, and then I'll work my way back up. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, because it wasn't only us, like our friends who we have similar taste in games wanted like a couple of these games, and luckily they found some that they wanted. And
right. And it's not like we're not gonna share.
Yeah, we can play with them, so.
You know, sorry.
But next up is a game from Alexander Pfister, and it was Maracaibo. People were really talking about it. It's really ugly, so I know Tia was never going to like purchase it. But it is like a rondel action system and like kind of trading in the Caribbean. I was really interested. People were really ranting and raving about it, so really excited.
Yeah, we've had this game recommended to us by quite a few people, so it's not really my aesthetic. I mean, the cover is nice, but the actual game is like, you know, a little dated looking, but if it's a solid game, then like, you know, you really can't argue with that, and this is a relatively good price for it as well. So yeah. So you want to talk about your big one next, or my big one? We both have one left, and it's like the one we really, really wanted. Well, for Duke, it was Maracaibo was one, and then this is the other one. For me, I was really like, if I just get this one game, I will be happy. Do you want to share yours first, or should I?
So mine is, if you like Downtown Abbey, it's got that same theme where you're like building an estate. And the reason I got it, one, it's out of print, kind of hard to find, and two, it had the expansion, and it's Obsession, and it was $50. So I was really excited about that.
For the base game and the expansion, and look, with West 6th expansion, first printing plus 2 promo cards. All printings currently out of print. Board Game Geek rating 8.3, sorted, bagged, and labeled.
Yeah, I really appreciate the guys.
You.
Like, I took care of this, and like, all right, this is great condition, really good game. It's really high on Board Game Geek. It's been staying on Board Game Geek, so really excited to give this one a go.
And then my number one pick that I was after is a really fresh off the press 2021 game, which, who am I, you know? But this one looks absolutely fantastic, and again, fitting with the spooky theme. This is Whirling Witchcraft from AEG with beautiful art by Weberson Santiago, as y'all can see. And this is just a really easy to learn engine builder with some unique mechanics. So from what I can tell from watching reviews and just chatting with people briefly and, you know, flipping through Instagram, I actually first saw this game because Eric from What's Eric's Playing is posted it, and he just has great taste in games. So shout out. If you don't like read his reviews or follow him, if you're looking for games you've never heard of, like that's where I go. So if he has games that I haven't heard of, I don't know, there might be some for you too. But I saw he posted about this one and seemed to really enjoy it. I watched Rado play through it and, read some other quick reviews and things, and I was like, man, the art looks gorgeous, the aesthetic looks really cool, I like the whole aesthetic and the theme of it, and it's interesting because it is an engine building game where you're building up your engine to get resources to give them away to your opponent. But it's like once you give them so many of a resource, if they don't spend it in time, they bust, and then you get the resources and you're trying to get like 5 resources in that manner in order to win. So it just looks like a really fun game, which some engine builders, I'm like, oh, this is crunchy and fun for me, but this seems like an interactive, fun, like, you busted, give me your resources kind of thing. But it's not mean-spirited because you're only helping other people, and if you overly help them, then it helps you. So yeah, I'm just really excited to try this one out. And this was the one that I was like, gotta run to the back of the store and grab it. I was like looking up and showing Duke pictures of the side of the box.
Make sure I know what color it is.
Spooky dude on one side, we're fairy on one side, so if you see it, we can pick it up. But yeah, really happy that I got my hands on this one because it's already sold out quite a few places. And it was cheap, 24 bucks. What up?
Yeah, I was really excited about it because I love the art. I love the art style. Like, he's done art in Bloody End too, which is another one of my favorite card games. So
and
that
King's Struggle, and Pot to Vin, and Rolling Ranch, and the new Coup. Yep.
So I love his art style. So the more games with it, the more I want to play. And it's an engine builder. Like, we played a couple today, and we're talking about them. So always fun to have more of those. Big
love for engine building. So yeah, Whirling Witchcraft. So we got a lot of awesome games today. It was a really fun whirlwind of an experience. Last year it was like one of those things where we just got our time slot and I walked away with a single great game for a good price, but only a single game. So it was nice to kind of get back into the swing of things. Tomorrow, like I said earlier in the vlog, everything's 30% off and discounted. That's still there. We're not planning on going back. There wasn't much. Some people drop off new games at that time, but I think we're pretty happy with what we got. So yeah, I'll go ahead and show you the final beautiful shots of the games. If you haven't already subscribed down below, please feel free to do so. And you can also give this video a like. Let me know, would you like to see more vlog style things in the future now that things are opening back up? Or were you like, nah, I just want to see other stuff. I promise I won't have my feelings hurt. But hopefully, I mean, we had a great time going to this event, and hopefully you had a fun time kind of hanging out with us and seeing what it's all about. But here are the final shots of the game, and we'll see you next time. Bye! Okay.